Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Peace be on you and the mercy and blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. إن الحمد لله ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهد الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وإن خير الحديث كتاب الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثات بدع وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار اللهم أجرنا من النار. So I welcome you all in the second session of the Understand Quran and Salah series and increase the khushu in your Salah. This is the second recording we are doing because there was some issue with the recording on the Zoom platform that we were on Sunday, and a lot of people were not able to join the Zoom because they were not comfortable with downloading the Zoom application, and our connection with the YouTube was delayed, and that's why we were not able to record it. And that's the reason we are recording this as a second session for all the people who have missed the first session and still want to take advantage of that. Right. So just a few reminders. We received very few assignments. I expected a lot more assignments. Only if you're going to do your homeworks, then you're going to be learning. So I want people to write their assignments and send to us on WhatsApp, either my number or the other admin, Mr. Ahmed's number. You can send it on. And the assignments that I got were all good, mashallah. They were all written well. So I would want people who are not able to write confidently to write and send, so that we know that you are not able to write, and then we can help you in those areas where you are weak.
Sorry to
So
stop
that is.
you. I just want to know, can you check like it is showing your life, because it's showing me.
Yeah.
Can you check from your side?
My mic.
On YouTube, can you check from your side? Can
Okay.
you
Okay. Yeah. So. Last time on we had put it live on YouTube, so inshallah now this will be put on YouTube after a while. And in between, I had uploaded a video for basic Arabic alphabet writing. So people who are not well versed with writing in Arabic, I want that you all write. So the basic alphabet right from Alif to Ya was there in that, and I request you that you can write that and send. And if anybody is having any problem writing, just let us know so that we can help you so that you can start writing. So unless we practice, we are not going to learn, and TPI is an important part of it. TPI is a total physical interaction that we're going to be doing with our hands, and our body is also involved in it. We will be seeing it, we'll be hearing it, we'll be thinking about it, and we'll be acting on it, and we'll be doing it with the heart, and all of us will be doing it together. So that is how the TPI is going to be, and then the TPI is going to help us in that way. So just to have a little revision of our last time's class, basically we had learned A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, and I'd given a little homework for everybody to do. That was to find out where all A'udhu is coming, and there are two concepts in that. A'udhu billahi means A'udhu billahi, seeking refuge in Allah, from. So there is one B, which is billahi, and one from, which is Allah. So in different hadiths and different duas, you get different kinds of wording. So instead of Allah, you'll find bika, A'udhu bika, or things like that, or you would find A'udhu in your pleasure, in your forgiveness, in your mercy, and to seek refuge in you, from you, to seek refuge in you from the fire. So this is B. All this is B, and from will be against. So as we say, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. So the min part will be from your laziness, your helplessness, miserliness, and all these are included in the duas that we recite. Also to decrease in the bounties, stinginess, cowardice, knowledge which is not beneficial, a heart which does not fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, a soul that is not satiated with things, and severe trials, bad fate, domination of people, overpowering, poverty, humiliation, evils of the day and evils of the night, evil friends, evil neighbors, and so on and so forth. Evil that I wrong or do something with it, right? So the other thing I just wanted to remind you that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves the amal that is done with consistency. So even if you're doing small, see that these lessons are very small, and the kind of knowledge you're gaining is very less. But if you're going to do it consistently, inshallah, we'll be able to reach our point where we will be able to understand the Quran when you're reading it. So don't get lazy, don't procrastinate. That is from shaitan. So we have already taken the protection and refuge in Allah from shaitan, so that we are able to do our learning properly. The important thing is that we have to prioritize and we have to remove time for it. And if you're not going to be removing time, then you will not find time for things. right? So with that, a little bit of revision of the last time. The other thing of the TPI was that the three four alphabets that we learned. One was huwa, that is he, huwa, that is he, hum, that is they all. You see four fingers, and I'm pointing away. So there's a third person. He and they all. He and they all would be huwa, hum, huwa, hum. This is third person. The second person is anta, that is you, antum, that is you all, anta, antum. And first person is ana, that is me, and nahnu, that is we all. Right? So inshallah, we continue this practice. We keep practicing. You all also keep doing it at home, and then only inshallah you'll be able to get closer to it. Right? So with that, inshallah, today we'll be beginning with the Surah Al-Fatiha. Surah Al-Fatiha, I'll give a little introduction of Surah Al-Fatiha. It is the first surah that was revealed in its complete form, and not the first surah that we know, the first ayat that we know is of Iqra Bismi Rabbika Ladzi Khalaq, but this is the first surah which was completely revealed in its complete form. Iqra Bismi, only the five ayat were revealed, and that is there. And in that Iqra, if you realize Iqra, the Prophet was Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was asked to read, right? And then what the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, Ma ana bikari, I can't read. So then the Jibreel Alayhi Salam told Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam three times, read, read. And this all three times the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, Ma ana bikari, I cannot read. Then the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was squeezed so tightly by Jibreel Alayhi Salam that he started getting fear. And after that, out of that fear, he read. So we shouldn't wait for such situations that we go into that situation and then read. Inshallah, we should read before we reach a bad situation. So inshallah, we'll start with that. So Surah Al-Fatiha is also called as Asas al-Quran. Asas is the base or the foundation of the Quran. It is also called as Ummul Kitab. Ummul Kitab means the mother of all the books, the mother of the Kitab, that is mother of the Quran. Like Ummul Qura is Makkah, that is mother of all villages, mother of all cities. Same way Ummul Kitab. It is also called Surah Al-Hamd because Hamd comes in it. It is also called as Sab'a Masani because it is the seven most often repeated praises of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Masani comes from Sana. Sana means to praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we have the seven often repeated praises of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is what we get in Surah Al-Hijr, where Allah ta'ala says, وَلَقَدْ آتَيْنَاكَ سَبْعًا مِنَ الْمَثَانِ وَقُرْآنَ الْعَظِيمِ. So the name, one of the names of this surah is also Quran al-Azim, right? So one thing I just wanted you all to focus on is that in Surah Fatiha, or the whole surah does not have the word Fatiha at all. If you see the other surahs, Surah Baqarah, the name of Baqarah is there, and in Surah Qalam, Qalam is there, and in Surah, all the other surahs will have names of whatever is there within the surah. So like Surah Luqman, Luqman's name is mentioned, and in Surah Maryam, Maryam's name is mentioned. So all surah has something within the surah which has a name, and from that it is picked up and the name of the surah comes. But here, if you see in Surah Fatiha, there is no Fatiha anywhere, right? So the meaning of Fatiha is opening. We open it, right? So any recitation when we are opening, we can use the Surah Fatiha. Also, Surah Fatiha is the key to Jannah, right? It is the door to Jannah is going to be opened with Surah Fatiha. The Fatiha is to open something. And you might have heard of Fatah. Fatah means to be victorious over somebody. So to be victorious, we have to be using Surah Fatiha. And Fatiha is the key. And how is it the key to Jannah? Is because it is the most basic requirement of a recitation in any salah. And because a salah is not complete, it is incomplete if Surah Al-Fatiha is not recited. And that is the reason if Surah Fatiha is the crucial element of the salah, then it is a crucial element which is for Jannah also, because salah is your key to Jannah. So if your salah is valid, then your key to Jannah is valid. Otherwise, your key will not be useful to take you to Jannah. One more important hadith I would like to share with you is about this Surah Al-Fatiha only. Once the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was in the company of Jibril alayhi salam, and they heard a voice in the sky. Jibril alayhi salam looked up and then asked the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, "Do you know what this sound was all about?" So the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, "No, I don't know." Then Jibril alayhi salam informed him that today there is a special door which was opened, and from that a specific angel has come, and he has got two noors for you. So there is a special uh, gate for this, and a specified angel who came to that specific door just to get Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, that is just to get Surah Al-Fatiha. So this is something special, and all the full Quran was revealed to the Prophet ﷺ by Jibreel alayhi salam, but this special surah was specifically designed for a particular angel to come and give it. And when that angel came, he gave glad tidings to the Prophet ﷺ and told him that Allah Ta'ala has blessed you with two noors. So one of the noor of that, as I told you already, was the Surah Al-Fatiha. The second noor is the last three ayat of Surah Al-Baqarah. So these two are very important ayats for us, and we should try to memorize the last part of Surah Al-Baqarah also, because that is important. One more hadith regarding Surah Al-Fatiha is Abu Sa'id ibn Mu'alla and also Ubay bin Ka'b, that three, four hadiths but the same kind of meaning when they were praying and the Prophet ﷺ called them and they did not respond. And when the Prophet ﷺ asked them, why did not you respond when I was calling you? So they said, we were praying and that's why we did not respond. So then the Prophet ﷺ reminded them that there's a particular ayah in the Quran which says that respond to the Prophet ﷺ and to Allah whenever they call you. So it was expected that even if they were in Salah, only when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is calling, which is not possible for us now, but when the Prophet ﷺ is calling, they should have responded to it. Nonetheless, at the end of that, the Prophet ﷺ held their hands and told them that I'm going to teach you a surah which is the greatest surah of the Quran. That is Al Azim al Surah in Quran, the most greatest surah in the Quran. And then he did his waz with other people, and he was about to leave, and they thought that the Prophet ﷺ has forgotten, and then they reminded the Prophet ﷺ that, oh, you told us that you're going to be telling us about the greatest surah of the Quran. So what is it? So then he said, it is the Ummul Quran, that is Surah Al-Fatiha, or it is also, as the other name I told you before, it is Al-Quran Al-Azim. So it is called Quran Azim. Right? So this was a little brief introduction of the Surah Al-Fatiha. Normally what happens is we've been reciting Surah Al-Fatiha all the time, and that's why we are not giving so much importance to it. Most of y'all would have got your notes, and in that all these things are there, and the meanings are there. So you all can take that as a reference when you are looking at this video. The second thing is when we are starting, we start with a bismillah, and this is called as basmalah. Basmala is to start anything with the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So uh, whenever we are starting anything with the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it has got lots of barakat in it, lot of barakat in it. So we start anything when we are starting, or any good thing, we start with doing saying Bismillah. So whether it is eating, sleeping, reading, writing, or in our situation, when we are operating, we would take the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Even if you get it, say with the bad things, if you get a thorn prick, or if you get pain, or if you have disease or fever, also you should say Bismillah Rahman Rahim. So the reason for that is if you're suffering and if you're saying Bismillah, it indicates that the shaitan gets angry with it, because otherwise a lot of people would say Uff, and they will try to show their displeasure with the bad things that are occurring to them. But if you say Bismillah, the shaitan gets zaleen, and he would he would feel more bad. If you start regretting it and saying Uff and things like that, then he would be happy. But if you take Allah's name, then he's very sad. So the other place where Bismillah is said is while closing the doors, when you're coming to your houses, closing your doors, when you are going out, that time also the Bismillah tawakkaltu ala Allahi. Every day you should be reading in your morning and evening, Bismillahilladhi la yadurru ma'ismi shay'in fil ardi wala fis samai wa huwa as-sami'ul alim. So this is the dua for protection from anything that Allah Ta'ala has created. So this is a very good dua which is to be recited in the morning and evening askars. Also, whenever we are doing zabiha, we are going to take the name of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. So that is going to be Bismillahi Allahu Akbar. So wherever we say Bismillah, that is the name of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. Also, if somebody has trained dogs for hunting and he has trained them to hunt, so when they go, when you're sending them, you have to say Bismillah. Only then it is halal for you. Otherwise, if they're just going and hunting and getting something back, it is not halal for you. Then we have miracles of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, which he has done with Bismillah. When there was no water and one of the Sahabis got a little water and that was poured into the hand of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and he said Bismillah and just opened his hand, and his hands just started flowing with water so much that everybody was able to utilize it and drink it, right? So also Bismillah, it creates a screen between the eyes of the jinnah and the nakedness of the children of Adam. So we should be saying Bismillah when we are removing our clothes, and if we are in the washrooms, before entering that, we should say Bismillah. There is opinion, a lot of people, a lot of scholars feel that Bismillah is an essential part of doing wudu. So if you are doing wudu and if you are not saying Bismillah, there is an opinion where your wudu is not valid because you have not said Bismillah. Some other scholars feel it's not a compulsory requirement, but it increases the perfectness of your wudu. That is, it makes your wudu kamil. That is a complete wudu kind of a thing. Also, we know that when we are doing our burial or the dafan, that time also before we put we say Bismillah, and it is also part of the ruqya that is there. So if you analyze the last ayat of Surah Al-Rahman, says Tabarak asmu rabbika dhul jalali wal ikram, which means that blessed is the name of Allah who is Zul Jalal, with the Jalal and with the Ikram, that is with the nobility, right? So one more thing is that whenever we're saying the name of Allah, Bismillah, Bismillah is not Bismillah, it is Bismillah with the ha at the end. So if you're saying Bismillah, we should say Bismillah. The ha at the end should come. Similarly, like for no, a lot of times say Allah. It's not Allah, it is Allah. And ha has to come in the end. Inshallah, that will take again when we are going to do the tasbih part of it. So the first words are B and ism. B means with, and ism is the name. I'll just show the name is ism and the plural of that is asma. So I just show you how to write that also. So you know how to write the basic. Right? So ism is ismun, and the plural of that is going to be asma. So this is the plural of ism. Ism means name, and asma means the plural. And we know that the asmaul husna, that is the beautiful names of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, are called as asmaul husna. The first ayat today is Bismillah, and then we have that is with the name of Allah, Bismillah, Rahmanir Rahim. So with that we are getting two sifat, that is Ar-Rahman and Ar-Rahim. So there's a little difference in the two. In the most of the translations, you might find most gracious and most merciful, but that doesn't give us the full impact of these two words. So just to come to a little grammatical analysis, Ar-Rahman is on the basis of Atashan, which means that extremely thirsty. Ghadaban means extremely angry. Jaw'an means extremely hungry. So this Rahman has an intensity in it. It indicates that he is intensely merciful. He is very, 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 very merciful that way. Also, it indicates that his mercy is going on now at the moment. So it is the mercy in the dunya that we are living in. So the two things part of the Rahman. The Rahman is a mercy in dunya that we are living in now, and the intensity of it, that it cannot be compared to anything. So as far as the intensity is concerned, we know from particular hadith that the uh, the mother, when she suckles a child, or an animal when he's suckling his small ones, it is just because of the mercy that they're doing it. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that this is just one part of mercy that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has sent on the earth, because of which all these things that we feel, okay, they're so merciful, is just because of that 1%. Remaining 99% of the rahmah and the mercy is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So you can imagine how much merciful Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is. We can't even fathom it, but we can just try to gauge something of it, but we cannot reach the maximum intensity of it. So that is Rahman. So the first part is Bismillah, Rahman, Rahim. The second is the part is Rahim. Rahim would mean to continually be merciful. So just to give you an example, if you say that somebody is a good doctor, it would mean that that doctor has been giving consistently good results for a long time, and he has got a good experience in whatever he's doing, and that's why he's called a good doctor. So if even if he does some bad thing or some bad case or something, he'll say, oh, he's not a good doctor. Similarly, a good lawyer. So if he's winning cases all the time, that makes him a good lawyer. So if he's losing cases in between, then they'll say, oh, he's no more good, right? So it requires consistency for somebody to say that this person is good. A good professional, he's doing work consistently well all throughout. Somebody is beautiful. If he's beautiful all the time, people will say he's beautiful. If he becomes ugly in between, then they will say, hey, okay, he's not beautiful. That kind of a thing. Again, same thing with good manners. If you are good mannered and if you are continuing to be good mannered, then only people will call you that you're good mannered. Otherwise, they'll say, "Oh, he's not good." If you abuse somebody once, they'll say, "Oh, this person is not a good mannered person." So this indicates that there's a consistency which is a part of the name Rahim. Rahim would mean that there is something which is consistently there and it continues, right? So let us internalize the meanings also. Bismillah means in the name of Allah. Bismillah, Rahma, the most gracious, which means with the intensity, with the continuity of it, and the extremity of the merciness. And Rahim, which means continually merciful, and He will continue to remain merciful, and He will also continue to remain merciful in the Akhirah. So we will have Rahma in dunya and Rahma in Akhirah, right? So if you see your notes there, they says habit number one, habit number two, habit number three, and habit number four, something like that. So the habit number one was the auzu that we said. The habit number two is the bismillah. So the purpose of doing all this is that you get all this in your lives. Whenever you are in situations where you want to seek refuge in Allah, keep seeking refuge in Allah regularly. And whenever you have to start anything, get your bismillah in your daily practice. So that is the whole idea. That is a habit that you have to form. And third habit is to get the magnificence and the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in our thoughts whenever we are getting or whenever we are praying, so to say. Okay. So with that, we would go on to the Alhamdu part. So the Alhamdu has got an Al in the beginning, and so that Al would mean all. Normally, Al would make any word definite, right? But here, Al would mean all. Like when we say Assalamu alaikum. So assalam will mean all the peace. So in all forms of peace and all the peace is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But here it will be al would mean all. So same way alhamdu means all the hamd. I'll come to the word hamd and try to dissect out what hamd is. So all the praises uh, and the thanks. So al means all. Here it does not make it is definite, but it is grammatically the meaning wise it is all. One more thing about the Alhamdu, since we have started Alhamdu. Alhamdu is a very important dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and it is coming in one of the hadiths that Alhamdu fills the scales of the Mizan. The Mizan is the scales that are going to be used in the Akhirah on the day of judgment, wherein our deeds are going to be weighed. So Alhamdu is very heavy on the scales. It fills the full scales. So you can imagine how important and how good it is. So when it is so much weighty, we should put all our emotions in it, and we should put all our heart into it. Okay. So with that, coming to the first part, the Alhamdu. So Alhamdu is all praises and all thanks. So it is very difficult to translate anything in any other language, because the words, the comprehensiveness of the word Alhamdu cannot be covered by the languages. In the sense, when we're saying Alhamdu is a combination of the praises that we're doing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we are thanking Him at the same time with just one word, Alhamdu. But when we translate, it has to come as all praises and thanks. We're putting in two words, but that is how it is. The direct the feeling will not come unless we get these two words. So praises is when also praises is the beginning of the etiquette of asking somebody. So if you're asking somebody, we would say, "Oh, you're so good, so you give me this and that." If you praise somebody, then the chances of getting what you want is better. So same here, Allah Ta'ala is giving us the etiquette of asking the dua. So first we start with the praises of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. And we all are needy, and we all need to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala all the time. That's why we have to praise Him before we ask anything. Okay. The second part is the thanking. So if you do something for somebody, you would they would want to thank you, right? So here we are thanking because whatever Allah Ta'ala has done for us, and the most important part of that is the iman that Allah Ta'ala has given us. Uh, so this alhamdu, the hamd part of it is the combination of both praises and thanks. So we are starting with alhamdu, and then we are saying lillahi. Lillah, Allah is the specific name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And grammatically, as Allah comes from the word al ilah. I'll just write that and show you as well, so that that gets a little clear to you. So Allah, that is Allah, but it is a combination of al plus ilah. This is how ilah. Okay. So al plus ilah, when it combines, this alif is dropped, I'll tell you the grammar about that also. So then it becomes Allah. So al plus ilah is Allah. That is, word by word translation wise, it would mean that it is um, the God. Al ilah, the God, right? So alhamdulillah, li is for, and Allah is Allah. So alhamdulillahi. After that is coming the word Rabb. Rabb. Rabb means complete authority over something. It is just to give an example. It is something like a gardener. A gardener would take care of his trees in such a way that he will give them enough water. He will see that the manure is there. He will see to it that there are no insects coming into it, and he'll see that the growth is happening properly. If the fruits are coming in properly or no, the watering is happening properly or no. So everything that when a plant is growing right from the seed stage, when the plant starts growing, a gardener is responsible for everything and he's taking all the care for it. So the Rabb is similar to that, and Allah Ta'ala is in that way nurturing us, protecting us, cherishing us, and he's a master. So one of the meaning of Rabb also is a master. He's a complete authority. He keeps giving us the gifts that we want. So whenever we are saying Rabbul Alameen, we have to get internalize all this and how Allah Subhanahu wa Taala is nurturing us and seeing and that we are living. Just to give you a simple example on how He's nurturing us, like a gardener would do for his trees, is He has made the earth subservient for us. In Surah Al-Mulk, Allah Subhanahu wa Taala says that He is made the earth subservient for us. Dalulan. So it is made as zaleel for us so that we can utilize it. And He's kept the proper concentration of oxygen, or we have the proper concentration of nitrogen and carbon dioxide, and He's given all the plants for us, the sunlight, the photosynthesis, the perfect temperature, the perfect humidity, the gravity, the water, the ships that are sailing over it. We will say that okay, it is because of Archimedes' principle. But who got this principle? We'll say that Newton has come out with this principle. But all these principles Allah Ta'ala has already designed. It's only that when we have studied it and we have found it out and we have got to know about the things. The whole solar system, the way it is running, the sun and the moon have been given their works, and the agriculture that is happening, the fruits, the flavors, what we eat, and how we are able to digest it, the eyes that Allah Subhanahu wa Taala has given us, and the beauty that we appreciate with it, the smell, the normal things that the GI tract that Allah Ta'ala has given us. A small baby, when the baby is born, and when milk is given, that baby is able to digest that milk and then grow. So everything Allah Ta'ala has designed. Say the kidneys and the heart. People who are requiring to undergo dialysis would know what is the importance of a kidney. And Allah Ta'ala has given all this for what? Free for us. So we should be thanking Him enough to get the importance, understand the importance of it. Uh, just to give an example, now we are in Corona times, and you breathlessness and people want oxygen and all that. And if God forbid anybody would require an ICU or to require to be on a ventilator, the cost of oxygen of a ventilator for 1 day today would cost something between 30,000 to 50,000 rupees just 1 day. Just imagine Allah Ta'ala has been giving us oxygen since we are born till this day and till we are going to live. And just to imagine if we are asked to give an account of all this, we will not be able to give it, right? So at least we should evaluate ourselves and understand the magnificence of our Rabb and try to thank Him enough. And if not, then at least do istighfar. So there's a ayat which comes in Surah Ibrahim which says that فَإِن تَعُدُّوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ لَا تَحْصُوهَا. So if you want to count the bounties of Allah, you can't even estimate it, right? So first word is counting, the second word is estimate. So if you want to count, you can't estimate, you can't go near it, right? So that would complete the Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. All that is given in the notes, so I'm not repeating the notes. You all can just go through it and read it because this is just to uh, get you a little understanding of the in between part. Now we would be going to the grammar part of it, and in grammar we would be learning the nouns and the parts of the grammar basically are the nouns, verbs, and the particles. There are three parts of the grammar, right? So noun is ism, verbs is fi'l, and particles are hurf. So nouns are, as we already know, name, place, animal, thing. We have been studying this when we were for kids and playing those games, name, place, animal, thing. So all that is nouns. Uh, Adjectives also is a part of a noun only because it is describing the noun in a particular way, right? Verb would mean action, and hurf or particles are something that is used to join these words and make proper sentences, right? So the part for today for us is to go for the plurals, and I'll just share my screen, or change my screen rather, to the plural part. Okay. So with this, we would be learning how to make plurals in Arabic. So we take the word, a basic word, say Muslimun, Muslimun. And if you want to make the plural of this, we have to add a waw, noon, or a ya, noon. Right? This is how it will be made. In English, what we do is we add s. In English, we add s. But here we can either add a waw, noon, or a ya, noon to this to make it a plural. We add either a waw, noon, or a ya, noon. Okay. So Muslim would become either Musli mu na. This is adding a waw noon to it. Musli mu na, or Musli ni na. Okay. Musli ni na. So here we have added ya noon. So this is like the s that we add in English: pen, pens, book, books. So similarly, we add Musli mu na and Musli ni na, right? And we take some other word, say for example, ka,
Sir, can you mention
fi.
singular and plural below that words?
Yeah, yeah. So we take kafi, run. Okay. So if you have to make the plural of this, it will become ka, fi, ru, na. Sorry, this is a mistake. So just to show you this, waw noon, the waw is a non-connector, so it doesn't connect. Kafi, ru, na. So this is also a non-connector, and waw is also a non-connector. So kafi, ru, na. Okay. Or it could be kafi, ri, na. Kafi, runa, or kafi, rina. So we have just added a waw noon or a ya noon. So this is the singular form, and this is the plural. And here this is the singular form, and this is the plural form. Okay. So this is how we make plurals. I will just showing you a slide share of the same. But basic, this is the most important part of the learning for today, is add a waw noon or a ya noon to make a singular thing plural. So in that, what is also done is, while doing that, there is a tanween here, that is there are two pesh here, two dhammas here. So we drop one of the dhamma, that is the Muslim will have just one dhamma, and one dhamma is dropped, which means there is the tanween, which means one pesh like this and one pesh like this, which is written like this. So we drop one of that, and then we add waw noon to it. So when we're adding that, one of the dhamma gets dropped, one of the pesh gets dropped, right? So similarly, we'll see some other words also. I'll have a presentation there, and then we can take it. Shamad, you have made me the thing, so I can share from here, right?
Yes, it's already
Right,
there. You can try.
right. So I'll just share that PowerPoint presentation so that everybody can
Just
benefit.
I'll make you a host.
No, no,
Just a
it's
moment.
already there. I think I can
It's
do it.
already there. Okay.
My screen, you are able to see
Yes, I
or
can see
no?
your screen. I can see your screen.
No, no, you have to enable me. You have to enable me so that I can share it. Yeah.
Just a
Make
moment.
me the
Just
host. Make me the
okay.
host.
Okay. Just a moment. It is not showing me the option of making a host.
You go in that show participants. In that, you go and click on the right click, show participants. Right. In that, you click on my thing, and then make host from there.
Okay. Okay. I got it. Just a moment. Okay, it's done.
Yeah, fine. Thanks. So, okay, so now I'll just share with you the presentation so that you all can sort of benefit from it.
It is visible.
Yeah, you're seeing the screen, no? That's good. Yeah.
Yes.
So, this will cover the grammar part of it, and all right. So, are you seeing it?
Yes, yes, it's clear.
Okay, mashallah, fine. So, this is the grammar that we'll be doing today. The grammar is called qawaid, that is rules in Arabic, and we have to use TPI. So, we'll practice a little TPI after we're done with the grammar. And as you see, different forms of 200 verbs and 20 prepositions and pronouns that occur 30,000 times in the Quran. This is already that we've done. Huwa means he, hum means they all, you means anta, and you all would mean antum, ana is I, and we is nahnu. So as I was told you, there are three things. One is an ism, that is a noun. One is a fi'il, that is a verb. The verb tells us about the action. Noun, as I already told you, is name, place, animal, thing. And harf is the letter that joins these two. So we have ism. Ism could be Muslimun, Mu'minun, Salihun, Kafirun, Mushrikun, Munafikun. But as you see in the end, we are not putting anything because the word is ending there. That's why I would say it as Muslim, Mu'min, Salih, Kafir, Mushrik, and Munafik. So this is how we are going to be doing or making the plurals. One is Muslimun. We, as I told you, add a wav noon or a ya noon to it, and we drop the tanween. That is, we remove the two peshes and we write it as Muslimuna or Muslimina. So tajweed wise, wav noon is a wav madda and ya noon is a ya madda. So it will be pronounced as Muslimuna, Muslimina. Now we'll go to the next word, that is mu'minun. So mu'minun would be mu'minuna and mu'minina, as I showed you in the examples before on the board. Similarly, we have salihun would make it salihuna and salihina. Salihuna and salihina. The next word is kafirun, which we already translated and sorry, we already made the plurals for it. So kafiruna and kafirina. Then we have mushrikun. It would be mushrikuna and mushrikina. Right? You can see that mushrik, when it is lasting ending with the kaf is different, and when it comes in between, it is a different format. So this is what I had given you in the notes on how to write the alphabets. Then we have munafikuna and munafikina. Right? So to make plurals for Muslim, as the same thing repeated: Muslimuna, Muslimina, Mu'minun, Mu'minuna, Mu'minina, Salihun, Salihuna, Salihina, Kafirun, Kafiruna, Kafirina. Right? So we already know huwa means he. So when we say huwa Muslim, means he is a Muslim. And when we are using the plural hum, which means they all, we would use the word Muslimuna. We'll not use Muslim anymore because we have to use a plural now, because hum is they all. That's why huwa Muslim, hum Muslimuna. Inshallah, we'll do a little practice of this once the theory part is over. Then second is a question. Second is the anta Muslim. You are a Muslim. Antum Muslimuna. You all are Muslims. So you see, anta we are using a word Muslim, and antum we are using the word Muslimuna. So that's why you have to be always alert and careful of what it is. If it's a singular, plural, all the words that we're going to use will be, we should be careful about it. Same way, ana Muslimun and nahnu Muslimuna. Right. So this is just to show you, the more brain we use, the better it will be. The mind maps we create, it is better. So however we're going to stimulate the brain for just one thing, if we are stimulating in different ways, then we'll be able to learn it. So this is how it is. Take a context that will create a flash, then take a sound of it. So when you're seeing, we are hearing it, and the pronunciation of it, and the spelling of it, when we're visualizing the spellings, the shape, how it is looking, and the emotions attached to it. We should do it by heart, and we can attach a story to it and the smell to it, so that these are the ways where we can, stimulate more flashes in the brain, and that way we'll be able to remember better. And that is how we are proceeding with our course of this, with doing TPI a lot of times. right? So it is easier to memorize and remember with TPI, and the more the flashes you create, the better it is. The easier to retain for a longer time and easier to recall when it is that. So that is what TPI is all about. So this is just a revision of all the words that we did. Allah, it is going to come 2,702 times, and A'udhu Billah already has an Allah. Same as Shaitan. A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitan has a Shaitan, but that Shaitan is repeated 88 times. And Isma and Asma. Isma is Bismillah, and Ar-Rahman, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Ar-Rahim again, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdu as Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. And Al Al Alamin. Alam is a singular and Alameen is a plural. And now we know that to make plural we have to use Alameen. So when we are saying Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, it means that he is the Rabb of all the alams, that is all the worlds. We don't even know how many worlds are there, because here the plural is you. Not only two worlds, it is Alameen, right? So in these two sessions, we have learned 13 words which occur in the Quran almost 4,500 times, and which will be repeated almost 7,800 times. Right. So that is the end of this presentation, and I will go back to presenting the. Sorry. Okay. Right. So stop the share screen and okay. Right. Okay, so with this we have learned the nouns, we have learned the plural and how to make the plurals. And I want you all to practice. Your notes contain a lot of other words also, which you'll to practice the salihun and those words you will need to practice. So just to, since we have practiced these and learned this, we'll just do a TPI of that so that we get a little better feeling of how it is. So I just adjust myself. As we already know, huwa is he, hum is they all. So when we are going to talk of whom, we talk of plural, and when we are going to talk of who, it is singular. So we'll say huwa muslimun or muslim. Huwa muslim, hum muslimuna. Huwa muslim, hum muslimuna. Anta muslim, antum muslimuna. Right? So we have to use the plural form when you're using antum. Ana muslim, nahnu muslimuna. Right? So we have to add the waw noon whenever the plural is coming. So we have to internalize in the brain when we are saying, we have to hear it also. We have to think that it is a singular or a plural, singular, plural. When we are making it with the hands, we are thinking that we have to take four fingers. That also adds on to our retaining. The next time the word comes, it will be very easier for you to memorize and remember, inshallah. So I'll just do the TPI of it once. Whoever is going to see the video later would try to practice it himself or herself. And if you want, you can pause at this moment and try to revise it by yourself before you go ahead with the video. So we'll just do it once more. Huwa Muslim, hum Muslimuna. Huwa Muslim, hum Muslimuna. Anta Muslim, antum Muslimuna. Ana Muslim, nahnu Muslimuna. Similarly, the next step would be I say just in Arabic and you all think the meaning of that in English. Huwa Muslimun, hum Muslimuna. Anta Muslim, antum Muslimuna. Ana Muslim, nahnu Muslimuna. So at the end of 2 or 3 practice of the TPI, you should be able to come out of the translations and then just be able to know the meaning of those words by just repeating the words in Arabic. So that would mean that at least you have learned that much amount of the language of Arabic. So TPI is something that you need to practice, keep practicing again and again and again, right? So the other part of the grammar today is to use al and how to make something definite and indefinite. So I'll just show you that. I'll just swap my screen. Okay. So taking the same word Muslim again, the basic word is Muslimun. And when we have to make it definite, this would mean a Muslim. When we want to make it definite, we would want to add the letter al. Al means with a sukun, lam with a sukun. So it will be al muslimu. But it's very difficult to pronounce. Oh, Muslim. So it's just like a sukun word. So that's why we have to add a alif to it. Right? So that way, then it will call as al muslimu. So this would mean the Muslim. This makes it definite. You're talking about a specific Muslim, right? So this is indefinite, a Muslim, and this is definite, the Muslim, right? But as I showed you, that this alif that is added is just added to make the pronunciation okay. That is the reason when this would be joined by anything in front, this alif will not be read. Like for example, if I say wa al muslimu, so it will be, this alif is not read and the wow will be directly read with the lam, wal muslimu, right? So this alif is not read when it is preceded by anything else where it will be joined. So it will be wal muslimu. Similarly, if the word fa comes, it will become fal muslimu. But then when fa is coming, it will be written like this. Fa, this alif is not read, but it is written, and then it will be the lam of the Muslim. Fal Muslimu. This is wal Muslimu and this is fal Muslimu. So what we learned today is how to make plurals by adding wow and noon, and then how to make something definite, a Muslim and the Muslim, by adding al, right? So in fact we've added al, but the actual addition is only of the lam. That is why when any other word comes in front, this will be read as wal Muslimu, fal Muslimu, right? And that alif is not read. Okay. So this is how to make anything definite. The other word that we are going to learn today is two more words. It is a question word. So that will help us for our vocabulary, and then we practice a little bit of the vocabulary. One is hal, and the other word that we are going to learn today is naam. Naam and hal. Right? Naam is very simple. It means yes. Naam means yes, and hal, it could mean is, am, are, or do. But it is all related to question mark. Is it there? Are you there? Am I here? Do you do? Something like that, you know. So we have a lot of surahs which start with hal, or some ayat which start with hal ataka hadithul ghashiya, and things like that. So there is a question. Basically, it's a question thing. So that is hal and naam. So inshallah, for the TPI, we would be doing a little practice with that. You already have the your books in which all these statements are written. But which TPI I want you to practice. So if I'm saying hal huwa Muslim, would mean is he a Muslim? So hal would mean is. Hal huwa Muslim, is he a Muslim? And answer will be na'am huwa Muslim. Na'am, yes, huwa Muslim, he is a Muslim, right? So the question is hal huwa Muslim, and the answer is na'am huwa Muslim. Na'am huwa Muslim. And if there are many of them, then the question will be hal hum Muslimuna, are they all Muslims? Hal hum Muslimuna? That is the question, and the answer will be Naam hum Muslimuna. So plural. Hal hum Muslimuna? Naam hum Muslimuna. This is for third person. The second person will be Hal anta Muslim? Are you a Muslim? Hal anta Muslim? And the answer will be Naam ana Muslim. Hal anta Muslim? Answer will be Naam ana Muslim. Hal anta Muslim? Naam ana Muslim. So there's a question and answer which is coming at the same time. And if it's a plural, then the question will be Hal antum Muslimun. Wow noon. Hal antum Muslimun. The answer will be Naam. Nahnu Muslimun. The answer will be Naam. Nahnu Muslimun. Okay, so this is how you're going to be practicing the TPI. Instead of the word Muslim, you can use all the other words. Hal huwa kafirun, hal huwa salihun, hal huwa munafiqun, and just try and practice so that you get those words also. You get the meaning of those words also, and you're able to internalize it. Okay. Uh, so with that, uh, I would like to say that the more TPI you do, the more brain you're using, and the more brain you're using, the better you get. So either lose it or use it or lose it. So that is how it is. With this, I would sort of come to most of the conclusion, and the last part and the best part sort of would be to uh, uh, have the last part, which is the khushu tip. Last time I had given you the khushu tip, and the khushu tip was to say, "A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim." When the shaitan is going to be disturbing you with in your thoughts. Okay, so the whole thing is that when you just a moment.
Sir, your video has been paused.
Okay, yeah, now it's back.
Yes, now it's
Okay, right. So the khushu tip that I'm going to give first, I would want you to understand the importance of khushu, or why is it important for us. So the thing is, we are in very difficult times, as you know now, and with that, a lot of people have thoughts in their mind whether these are the signs of the last times, and we know that most of the signs of the last time have come to pass already, and some people are already preparing for it, and some are not preparing for it. But this hadith would sort of open our thoughts and our brains to it. And the Prophet ﷺ once, sorry, is it back? Okay, sorry. So the
yes,
Prophet ﷺ once, is it okay?
yes.
Yeah. So the Prophet ﷺ once raised his sight towards the skies and said that knowledge is to be taken away from people till what remains of it shall amount to nothing, which means that there will be no knowledge, really speaking. See, if we analyze ourselves today, we feel that there is knowledge, but the Prophet ﷺ saying that there will be a time when the knowledge will be lifted up, and what will remain of it with the people is doesn't amount to anything, right? So Zaid bin Labid al Ansari, who was an Ansari, he said he was surprised with this, and he asked, "How will it happen, Prophet ﷺ, while we recite the Quran, while we and our women recite it and our children recite it?" The Prophet ﷺ told him, and he was very angry and upset with him because he said, "Question from you was, I considered you as one of the fuqaha of the people of Medina." Then he asked him the question, "Isn't
I
that
think
the
so. Your Bluetooth, your earphone has switched to off because right now your voice is coming from your cell phone.
Is it okay?
Your
Okay, but is it audible?
yes,
Okay, fine, fine. So I'll come a little closer. Right. So he said that I considered you to be among the fuqaha of the people of Medina. So the Prophet ﷺ asked him a question. He asked him, "Is it not that the Torah is there with the Jews and the Injil is still there with the Christians? But what do they avail of them? Well, how do they benefit from it? Which means that they have it, maybe they are reciting it and reading it, but they are not taking any benefit out of it, right? So that is one of the crucial reasons which the Prophet ﷺ is indicating here of why the knowledge will be taken away. After hearing this, Jubair radiallahu anhu, who's another Sahabi of the Prophet, he went to Ubadah bin Samit, he's another great Sahabi, and said to him, "Do you know what Abu Darda has said about this?" And he told him about the whole hadith where he said that the knowledge will be taken up and things like that. Then he said, "I know of the first thing which the Prophet ﷺ had informed me about it." And then he said that the first knowledge to be removed from the people, listen to this carefully, the first knowledge to be removed from the people will be the khushu. And then he said that there will be a time when you go to a masjid and you find people praying in the masjid with the jama'ah, but you will not see anybody of them praying with khushu. I think we are in those times, and it is time for us to reflect on what we are and what we are doing and where is our khushu. That is the whole purpose of this whole thing that we are doing, so that inshallah we increase the khushu in our salah. So again, the second part of it is coming to what is the purpose of salah. So you just think about it. Why are we praying? What is the reason? Maybe Ahmed, can you say something about it?
yes. I think the reason must be we can stay away from the sins and
Okay.
we can be regular in our prayer, like we can
Okay.
avoid sins.
Okay. Right. That could be the result of the salah. That there's an ayah which says that inna salata tanha anil fahsha'i wal munkar. That salah prevents people from doing the bad things and evil things and things like that. So that is an effect. But what I want is, what does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala want us in our salah? Right. So just coming to it, uh, uh, it is as if we recite a prayer, and we have recited our sana, then we recited the alhamdu completely, and then we did our ruku, and then we did our sujood, and then we take this salah to any of the muftis and tell them, okay, this is how I've prayed, and I've said all this 1 2 3 4 5 6 as it has to be prayed, and then he will say, okay, if you've done that, that is okay. But does that complete your salah? Does it make your salah perfect, or does it complete the requirement of salah? Technically, a mufti would tell you, yes, you have prayed it, and that is fine. But just drawing your attention to what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants, right? So in Surah Taha, Allah Ta'ala is commanding Musa alayhi salam to establish prayer. What is he saying? Akimis salat li dhikri. What does it mean? Is that establish prayer for my remembrance, that you should be doing prayers for my remembrance. So let us just analyze ourselves. When we're praying, how many times do we really think of Allah? So he said, Akimi salat li dhikri, my remembrance, right? The translation is remembrance. How many times do we remember Allah? We would do all the zikr there. Technically, zikr would mean the remembrance of Allah. But are we really remembering Him? Somebody asked me, what is zikr? What is zikr? Zikr is the remembrance. So remembrance is, if somebody asks you, just mujhe yaad rakhna, kind of, which means that keep my thought in your brains. That is the basic thing. It's a very simple concept, but still I feel that a lot of people still don't know. They are not able to internalize that and think that and get the thoughts of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when they are reading the salah. Right? So we have to remember Allah in our salah. That is the basis. And whenever we are saying Subhana Rabbil A'la and Subhana Rabbil Azim, the greatness of Allah should come. And when we're saying Allahu Akbar, we should know that Allah is the greatest. So all that should be internalized. Inshallah, if we try to do that, and if we focus on the meanings, inshallah, we will be able to reach our destination. In the sense, the whole target is to get khushu in our salah. We have 20 sessions of this first book, and we are just completed the second one today. So we have a long way to go, but every class we're going to be learning something more and more. So I want that you keep practicing it properly, and writing it as well. Your worksheets that have been provided to you have those worksheets where you can actually write those homeworks. And if you've written that, then you would be you would have understood the concept that that particular class was designed for. Okay, so with that, inshallah, we sum up. Any difficulties, you can go back to these videos again, and you can put your questions in the comments. Inshallah, we can see those and try to answer them. The live session was already done for this particular session, but a lot of people have missed it, and that's the reason we are repeating it. And before going through the session, I would request everybody to just go through the sheets that have been provided for the chapter 2A and 2B. Read that properly before you see this video, so that you are well oriented on how this video is going. Because today I've not shown you those sheets online, but I've covered most of it that is there. Also, there are some 6 habits in that. So those 6 habits you need to try and see that you inculcate them, and that will also come a good long way in improving the khushu in your salah. The last habit in that was to about the mercy, because the last part that is, and Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. So the Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim would be merciful to all the other people. And there's a hadith which says that Allah Ta'ala will be merciful to the people who are merciful to each other. Right? So we have to be merciful to the people on the earth, and then Allah Ta'ala will be merciful to us. So this was, of course, cannot be compared to the live session that we had, because people were able to ask questions directly on that day and interact with me. And we had the TPI also being done by people, and people answering in between. So I would request that most of you join in the Zoom itself. So the next time on, we will have the Zoom and the YouTube going together. A lot of people were not able to download the Zoom and things like that, and that's why we have to repeat this small session that we have done now. So I would request that you actually join the Zoom, and if not, and if you're getting late or something, then you can go back to the YouTube. All the things will be inshallah uploaded to the YouTube, so you can always go back and see them again and revise them again. But as I told you, the efforts from your side is the most important. If you're going to be doing that, inshallah, you will gain, and inshallah, you will gain step by step. If you are not doing that in the first few lessons, then the lessons that come on later, you might find it difficult and you may not be able to take it. So that's why I would request that go through these chapters properly, go through the sheets properly, revise them again and again. And there are some other homeworks also, which inshallah will start from the next time. But at least for these first two sessions, you do at least this much basic. And with this, inshallah, I would conclude. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.
You have to make me host before ending it. You have to make me host.
I can pause from here. I can stop the recording. It
No,
is
you have
showing me
to
the
stop
option.
our YouTube thing also. So you have
Okay,
to
okay,
make
okay.
me host.
I'll make the host back again. No problem. Yeah. Right. So I've made you the host back again.
Thank you so much.